everyone, and welcome back to Beyond Borders Teaching. If you are joining us today for the first time, welcome. My name is Selena. Today I'd like to share with you how I thrived abroad and my personal wins as an international teacher here in the US. I'd like to remind you all at this time to please like, follow, comment, subscribe. It will be greatly appreciated, your support here on this channel. So on last week's episode, we spoke with a fellow international teacher. So if you would like to see that, you can go to episode 5, where you would have heard that teacher's experience. So to add to that, I wanted to also share my personal wins, achievements, and all the things I would have succeeded with and overcame while on this teaching experience. Stay tuned. For this episode, I personally wanted to reflect and share with you all my personal goals that I have achieved and all the experiences that would have enriched me here on my journey as an international teacher. I also wanted to use this time to possibly inspire and encourage future or current international teachers here in the US. So first thing I wanted to touch on, we have spoken about personal growth, probably from the very first episode, as to why I have enjoyed the journey so far, the personal growth and development within this field that I have attained during the course of this journey here, teaching abroad. So I wanted to share some things with you with regards to that. So, of course, there has been tremendous personal growth in respects to my teaching skills. I would also say in terms of my student achievements and various milestones reached with my students. And of course, there were challenges along the way. However, these challenges would have helped me become a better teacher as well by going through those challenges, by figuring out ways to master various things so that I can fulfill the duties of my job and meet the obligations to my students. So for me personally, my first year was, of course, my hardest year. Being new to the state, all the various things in terms of we would have spoken about before, culture shock, finding your tribe, all the various elements of what to learn to do in school, all the various things with technology, all the courses to attend, the professional development to attend, doing lesson plans, doing PowerPoint presentation that goes with the lesson plans. So of course, all of those things help to enhance my skills as an educator. On my very first teaching year, of course, dealing with classroom management and all of those other things, I was able to figure it out along the way with, of course, support from administration, support from various members of staff, and support from my fellow teachers who were also international teachers here in the US. So I would have started the process here in 2022. And at the time, I did not know that after the year of teaching, teachers are given something called a growth bonus. So you are given that extra pay, that extra bonus pay for the subjects of reading and math. So the kids' data would have been plugged into the system, and based on how their scores would have grown since they would have been in your care or in your tutelage, the county would pay you accordingly. I did not know that existed. After my first year of teaching, so at the start of 2024, my principal, she would have come to hand me a letter that stated that I got the growth bonus for the kids' reading scores, for the growth they would have attained in reading. I honestly was speechless when she handed me the letter, and my principal was watching me smiling, looking for me to have a reaction of excitement. But at the time, I was excited, but I guess I was just processing, did this really happen? Given my experience within the challenges I would have faced that year, the difficulties, the times I felt like, did I make the right decision? So that was something I'd like to share with you to encourage, as I said, current international teachers or future international teachers that it is challenging, but it can be done. because within my very first year in learning this system, adapting the various challenges I would have faced, the various learning curves, I was still able to attain that EVAS growth bonus for being top 25 in the state of North Carolina for teaching. So in reading. So that really, really was something that really filled my heart with so much joy. Of course, I was teaching excellent anyways because that's who I am and that's my purpose. As I said, I believe teaching is my ministry to grow my kids and see them excel. But I just didn't know that it had something attached to it that, you would be recognized for it. You would be given this letter, you would be given extra money. So that was something amazing that I really appreciated, and I didn't even know it existed. Um, and in my second teaching year, I did not get the growth bonus, but my kids, when you look at the tracker, the various data that they would plug in for the kids, my kids still grew a lot from where they were before. So that in itself was rewarding to me. So that was something I really, really enjoyed. And I am sure I would like to see you all leave some comments there to share your wins too in that area. And my next point I had was the financial success and opportunities I would have experienced here while teaching abroad. So, of course, one of the reasons for me making this decision was I thought it would bring about financial gain. So coming to the US, I would say I don't think they pay teachers enough anywhere in the world. However, I would say for me personally, I was able to have a better savings with regards to how much I was paid, the ability of using that money to cater to my bills, as well as the ability to save some of it. However, what was something different, sometimes I compare what I experienced here to back home. Back home, we are paid 12 months. So even though we go on vacation between the months of July and August, we are still paid for it. However, here in this state, I know not all states are the same. We are paid 10 months. So our last salary is in May, and then we are given an end of year bonus in July. And then we don't get paid again until the end of August. So that presented a bit of a challenge for me sometimes because, of course, as an international teacher, I am assigned only to work as an international teacher for the county in which I'm placed into. So unlike American teachers who can take various jobs throughout the summer, that was not my reality. So of course I had to be really smart about my savings and smart about how I spend my money so that during that 2 months without salary, I'm able to still cover my bills. So that was something I truly appreciated throughout this journey. And for the other aspect, as I said, the various opportunities I was able to receive and embark on. Within my first year, and my first 2 years, they offered a program called Letters. So it had to do with the science of reading. And there were so many beneficial things that I was able to learn from that course. So there were online sessions, in-person sessions with the study guide or the book that went along with it. Then you had to answer questions. You had to listen to a multitude of videos for the various units. But it really, really helped me as a better reading teacher, a better language teacher, a better phonics teacher, writing teacher, understanding vocabulary, how important it is to ELA. So it was really good to have that course because that's something I can hold on to for life, that, it's something really good to help me as an educator. Also, other courses such as restorative justice, which also helps for you to connect with the children in a more meaningful way. It really helps with those socio-emotional skills that you want to build with your students. So doing a course like that, the various courses on Vector to help you realize like if a child is being abused or for different preventions and stuff that you may have to notice with your kids. So the Vector courses and the many other courses that we would have had to do throughout these 3 years that I have been, the various professional development days where we learn about how to use a success maker, how to use iReady, for example, and the different things we may have to use within our classrooms. So I would say for those two reasons as well, it has really helped me to thrive here abroad as an international teacher. Next point, the ability to build confidence. I would say in this journey, teaching abroad has also helped me in regards to building confidence, which was my own personal take or challenge that I had. Because, of course, something, if anybody knows me, I am not too fond of speaking in public or speaking to a large group of people, particularly adults. I can speak to kids, but adults has always been a challenge for me. But somehow, with this experience, it has helped me to build my confidence. And as I reflect, I think that came from a number of factors. But the one that sticks out is the encouragement I got through many times when I would teach and my principal would come visit me. Sometimes it was planned and I know she was coming. Oftentimes I didn't know. So my principal would come see me, my vice principal. Sometimes members of the county in which I teach would come see me, my instructional coach would see me. And sometimes for the very first year I taught, someone would be in my classroom 4 times for the week. Somebody would come in my classroom to see me teach. So many of the times, I would say I got more positive feedback than feedback that tells me to change things. And regardless whether it's positive or feedback that tells me what to work on, I never looked at it as something negative. I always looked at it as something to help me be the best teacher I can be. So in reading those feedbacks, in changing my teaching methods or style or whatever to suit what was suggested, it helped me to be more confident in my ability to teach in the US especially, as well as when I see, of course, my kids' gains, my kids' milestones, my kids' growths in whatever they are doing, or my kids who were considered read and retain to begin with, and then by the end of the year or sometime middle of the year, they no longer have that label. So all of those things it reassured me that I am doing what I am sent to do. I'm doing what I'm called to do, and that this profession really is for me. So that is something I truly enjoyed throughout this process, the confidence that I was able to build. And even the ability to do this here podcast. I mean, this has been an idea on my heart since last year. And I just kept feeling like, oh, I don't know if I want to put myself out there like this. But somehow or the other, I got that push this year. And I was like, I have a story to tell and I'm going to tell it in hopes that it reaches persons, in hopes that it helps to give other international teachers a voice. So I would say that was one of my main reasons that I have been thriving here abroad as an international teacher. It has allowed me, as I said before, to step out my comfort zone. I would even say in the ability to build and make friendships and build that strong support system, as I would have spoken about in previous episodes, finding your tribe. Of course, I can only continue to find my tribe by talking to people. When you open up, it makes others feel comfortable to open up too. At this point, I want to talk about looking ahead. My future goals and aspirations is to continue to inspire, to grow, to build, to understand, to develop within this teaching profession so that I can continue to be the best educator possible for my kids, wherever my kids may be, and that I may continue to develop in various ways so that I can bring it back home and be able to be a beacon for my country and bring back all the nuances I have learned, good, bad, and different, to further educate kids to make them more global learners. Because that's what the program kind of encourages us to know that we are. We are teaching ambassadors. We are global educators. We want the children to act locally but think globally. That was one of the points. So I'm hoping to do that as well as I continue in this profession. In the end, I would like to speak towards encouraging international teachers to know that during this process here, make the most of your journey. While you are here, make sure you focus on whatever success means to you, whatever you define success to be. Make the most of this journey, make the most of this experience, and I hope it continues to enrich you in every way, for those persons who are currently international teachers and for those who are considering it. You make the best of your experience. And in closing, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Please remember to like, follow, share, and subscribe to this channel and turn on your notifications so you never miss a beat as to what's coming next. I would also like for persons to share their own wins in the comments. Maybe you have had some win that you would like more persons to know about, and sharing is caring, as I said before. So please share your wins so other international teachers could celebrate you and know that it is possible for them too. So please share comments about your own personal wins here as an international teacher. As I wrap up this episode, I would like to express, I hope my journey inspires you in some way. I hope you can take something from it. And I hope that this process here throughout all these episodes helps in some way, or inspires or encourages you in some way. I want you all to remember always that success is possible. The success is possible. I mean, it takes blood, sweat, and tears sometimes, but it is possible. And we all have already been so successful to have taken this big step in the first case, leaving our home, leaving our comfort zone to come to the US for this experience, to become better teachers, to become better educators, to also get a more global perspective on things, and to see a different side of how education is in other parts of the world. So I hope you all continue to explore that. In the next episode, I'll dive into the more practical side of moving to the US, of thriving abroad. I would like to discuss things like looking for homes and apartments and balancing your finances and the cost of living. So tune in next time for that. And as always, thank you all for tuning in. Please remember to like, follow, share, and subscribe. Take care and have a great week, everyone.